Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well today. We are back playing Recommission Elementals again. This was a deck we were having a lot of success with towards the beginning of Brothers War being released. And I'm back with, I think, a pretty nice update to the strategy. I've the big change is that we're on the full 4 Fury in the main deck, and we've moved Fulminators 2 through 4 to the sideboard. We still have access to 1 as a Flamekin Harbinger target. But I think that this is like a lot more suited to this more creature-focused metagame. If you have missed this deck in the past, the big idea here is that Recommission, being a white card mostly, allows you to play a reanimation effect for Risen Reef in addition to Ephemerate, while also getting access to enough elemental or tribal lands rather that you can cast, really any color combination of creatures that you want. Or you can play, you can play Splash Black, like Leaf Skelemental, play the full 4 colors, while having a relatively painless mana base. Additionally, the +1 counter from Recommission is quietly super relevant, mostly with Thunderkin Awakener, where this allows Thunderkin Awakener to get back creatures with 2 toughness or less. Or, sorry, it's 2 toughness or less, so that will allow you to get back Fulminator Mage, start blowing up all your opponent's lands, recur Solitude every turn, buy back Voice of Resurgence, which is a really big upgrade to this card. But also, just to put it very simply, Aether Vial Elementals is a deck that wants to jam Risen Reef really aggressively and use this as a big card advantage engine. And the fact that you have now 4 Ephemerates to protect it, 4 Recommissions to reanimate it, and 4 Flamekin Harbingers to tutor it up makes this plan very consistent as well. I've also changed the mana base a little bit since the last time we played it. I think we're playing too many red-white lands, but also I was also main decking more Fulminators, so I wanted more red sources anyway, so I think that this is also just going to be a pretty nice change to the mana base in general. Ooh, we have 2 Aether Vials in our opening hand. No lands. Can you explain why Expressive Iteration is viable in Control decks and Legacy, but not in Modern? Expressive Iteration is viable in Modern Control decks, too. It is just not mandatory. I did the Bugbear Gigantha. Probably the 8 Blast deck. Very cool to see how popular this strategy has been lately. We'll see how we match up against it. Jund Goblins with Tyvar to make the combo faster seems cool. I really don't think you want to play either of these Planeswalkers and Goblins, to be honest, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I can't remember who it was. Somebody was added Swift Spear to this deck, and I thought it looked pretty good. Okay, Voice of Resurgence is a phenomenal draw here. Was it Mingu? I thought maybe it was someone else, but we'll give all the credit to Mingu anyways. Any attacks? Got some attacks. Wait, it was Spear? I thought the Spear was... so Spear. Yeah, it was... I don't know. I'm not sure. It's very cool to see the 8 Blast deck taking off. I always thought this was another deck that was kind of slept on. With, Caleb top 8ing, and I can't remember our friend who... we lost to her playing for the 5-0. She got the 5-0. Caleb picked up the list, and then it's kind of all history from there, I guess. Opponent really not sure when they want to cast this Shrapnel Blast, I suppose. Definitely getting a Reef here. And then they're 100% to have the Shrapnel Blast, right? So I'm probably gonna block like this. Emma Higgin, thank you. Hagen. Yeah, TCG player sent me these shirts. Honestly, they're a little small. I thought I asked for a bigger size, but they got my name on the back, so this is they're not that small. So they're good motivation to just, continue to lose weight. It was really nice. It was, It was Reed who's like really put this together. I was one of these. Always wanted one of these. Yeah. Got my name on the back. Very cool. Okay, they're sacking Bomac Courier. Discarding Lightning Bolt, discarding Relic so that they can get Delirium. Good play, good play. Yeah, so I'm an extra large. This is a large. But I'm getting back down to a large. Getting back down to a large. Oh boy, we'll take that. We might die to these channelers though, we'll see. Channeler's so freaking good. Thank you, Jess. Upside down on the front. Genius, very innovative. Okay, so they can Galvanic Blast this turn. I imagine that they will be blasting my Reef, right? Well, I'm snapping off the block here. The Blast Reef before I get the token, I assume? Yes. Got one of them Endurance's main. I think that they are all on the side. I think they are all on the side. Yeah. Got Solitudes though. I think I'm supposed to recommission Reef though, rather than just pitch right now. Okay, so we get to find I guess just another Solitude. Because if I draw another white card off of the second Reef trigger, then I can maybe just pitch 2 Solitudes. Oh, I should have played, sorry, I should put my planes though, because I could draw Ephemerate here. That was a kind of a big mistake. Although, we will take the Fury. This deck is really, really good. This deck is really, like, criminally underplayed, to be honest. Oh, still not... I don't really need the Ephemerate. I guess if I draw Ephemerate, am I Ephemerating the Fury? I'm probably Ephemerating Harbinger. Recommission, let's go. I guess I'll bleed the Elemental Black to block Swiftspear. And they're not going to be able to Shrapnel Blast unless they draw a artifact return. Name Elf with Cavern. Nice. Okay, they did draw an artifact, so they actually put me on to 4 here. If I'm not dead to either Blast after 1 top deck. I'm not dead to either Bolt or anything. But I do have to win the game here. Or find a Solitude to just gain a lot of life, which probably neither of those is going to be too difficult to do. Alright, so let's recommission Harbinger. Get a Reef. Three Reef triggers. 1, 2, 3. So I don't have anything in the yard to awaken right now. Kind of looking for another Solitude. Only have 2 in the deck, I guess. But good news also is... I don't think it's anything to do anything. Good news is that we're not dead to any top deck here, I think, unless they have Underworld Breach in their deck somehow. So we should be able to untap with our engine ready. Wisp for Solitude wasn't the play. Wisp for Solitude. Oh, Wisp the Harbinger to get a Solitude? Yeah, I missed that line. Gotta have patience with me, I'm kind of dumb. So they are a Saga deck. I don't know how... I'm gonna cut the Fulminator and the Skelemental, probably the Wisp too. Definitely want at least 1 Endurance. I think I'll play both Foundation Breakers also. I think you could recommission Wispmare. I guess Awakener's kind of not at its best. Play like 3 endurances. Kind of keep the red card count a little higher than this if possible. I don't know how possible it is. We have 10, which is low. 3-2. What matchups do you want the place of the mages? Tron and Titan mostly. Big mana, some combo decks too. Living End. Isn't sure Ben the Breaker. So they're an Urza Saga deck. So having the ability to, like, for this to kill, like killing their artifacts isn't even like particularly good, to be honest. Like, I don't even know that they have any artifacts that are like good to disenchant. Ooh, a Risen Reef. If one wants to play grindy 3-drops in deck, would you play ramp or try to control the game to turn 3 to get to healthy state? Modern is a format where you could just, like, 3-drops can like be the top of your curve in like any deck. There's a Saga. So this turn I can go upkeep Violent Harbinger and get a Foundation Breaker, which I think I'll do. Thank you, off. Thank you, off. Yeah, I agree. The Dark Souls run, if I can get Ornstein and Smo and 4 Kings more consistent, then I think that we've got a really good chance to get there on. Like really, like those are the only 2 areas that need like a lot of work. And so today I'm just gonna be practicing those off stream for a few hours, and then hopefully tomorrow it could be a bit better. Like, my goal is to, like, smash my personal best once those get better, and then we can start doing reset runs. I really think the key is just going to be relaxing. Just relaxing, staying focused. Alright, land would be really nice here. Awesome. Because it needed to be not a red or white land, too. Alright, just gonna pass. I want my opponent to make the first. I guess I could have attacked, but I want my opponent to make the first move. Awakener to replay the Risen Reef is nice. Yeah, Voice is pretty good in this deck. We've been liking the voices. Yeah, last night was pretty exciting. So, like, again, Four Kings needs a lot of work. Ornstein and Smo needs work. But beyond those 2 fights, we had 1 hit in the gardens. I think we can avoid that hit going forward by using the bow on the Moss guys. We had 1 hit on the run to Nido. I think that was not too concerning. I know what I did wrong, and that part is, you know, somewhat consistent. We'll get, you know, even more consistent. And then we had I had 1 hit on Sif where it was just a greedy attack, but that fight is, you know, becoming a lot better too. Not really even like much of a concern. I know this is a lot, but still. And then we had a hit on the way to 4 Kings, or we had 2 hits on the way to 4 Kings. I'm trying to think. I think there was one more. There's 1 more hit beyond that. Oh, there was a Hollow was acting weird in Seath's Fortress, but you know, for the most part, like the rest of the run is getting really consistent. We could have had like a really smashed PB with like a little bit more focus and a little bit more, you know, being a little bit more relaxed, I think. I think Kaheera should be any deck with 1 tribe, and so yeah, I don't know. I mean, it should have been like, you know, not hybrid at least, but it is weird that it's so many different types. Shrapnel Blast Endurance deal. Okay, then they can Galvanic Blast my Awakener, but then Recommission. I can even like buy back Foundation Breaker or Solitude, which is pretty good. That being said, I don't know that they're ever going to be able to come back from all this value. I guess, do I want an Awakener or do I want a Reef? I think I want an Awakener. Okay, too much value. I was going to get another Reef off the Harbinger trigger, Violet in too. Kebab, 60 months, thank you. I'm gonna say, so yeah, this deck is great. This deck's really underplayed. Also, what I like about this deck, and listen hard, Elementals players, because everyone took this deck and they changed it. They changed this element. I like that this deck's mana base is pretty painless. Gets to play a lot of tribal lands, and all of the non-tribal lands tap for white, so they play Recommission and Ephemerate. I played against a tribal opponent just a couple of days ago who could not cast Recommission because they had Forest and Island in play, and they lost the game because of it. I would have lost very, very easily if they just had only all their non-tribal lands just tapped for white. And they were playing Omnath too. I really think Omnath sucks in this deck. I'm a believer. Do I get a Solitude now? I think I get a Solitude now. What do you think of the Esper Micromancer deck you played a while back? Is it viable? I've been thinking about that deck some lately. I kind of abandoned it too quickly, honestly. Oh, I thought I clicked the tab. I definitely clicked on this. It's okay, we're leaving back to block a Goblin Guide. Do you like this version over the Ridden 6 versus Omnath? So, yes. Yes, but I think that there are possibly, like, 4-color Omnath decks that just don't play Risen Reef. That, like, I think that as an archetype is kind of underexplored. I was messing with it last night. But as far as, like, the Elementals deck goes, I think that this is better than that version. Your curve gets to be a lot lower, and, like, it's... Again, it can be very difficult to... You know, I cannot go on enough about how good, how important, this mana base is. It's just, I just love it so much. Ooh, that's really nice draw. I guess I'll leave back one of the Harbingers still. Yeah, I can't play Foundry because then we can't play the Reef. Does people play a Fable instead of Reef in the Ren 6 Omnath version? Yeah, I mean, so that's... I view that as a different deck. I view, like, if you're playing Ren 6, Fable the Mirror Breaker, Teferi, main deck Bedlam Reveler and Burn? Let's go, dude. That's sick. Like, I think that's just a different deck altogether. Alright, so let's go Solitude, pitch here. I'm going to exile the Bedlam Reveler, and then I'm going to exile my own voice to gain 2. Guess I'll let this trigger first. And so I can only ever gain 1 life with an Ephemerate here, although I may want to Ephemerate like my Risen Reef or something. TMG and Amulet, what's TMG? I wanted the new cards. You play a second Reveler? You got a Lightning Bolt as the last card, opponent? Ooh, brutal. Oh, Mike gets with Guard. Yeah, that card seems really good there. I agree. You could net gain 2 with Ephemerate. I don't think so. It can't target itself with... You can't target... Solitude can't target itself if that's your proposed line. So the first one, I'm definitely getting a Reeve. Spike, what about Omnath? They have no cards in hand, otherwise I get the Skelly. Oh, you know what? I guess I could just get Skelly anyways, and then Solitude my own Skelly. Don't hate that. And also hit them for a bunch. Do I want to play a second Reef first? If I play a second Reef, I'm dealing myself 4, and then I'm gaining 6. I'm probably, you know, probably just better off not against Burn. Alright, up a game against Bedlam Burn. Foundation Breaker's pretty nice against Eidolon. Endurance is kind of nice against Bedlam Reveler. Something like this. Something like this is nice. Yeah, land type sphere is interesting. I don't know if there's any other land type spheres or sphere pays offs. We'll see. Evoke triggers Eidolon. If you evoke Foundation Breaker against Eidolon, it does not deal you any damage because the mana value is 4, which I think is why you want to play it over Wispmare. Tapeworm. 10 months of having a tapeworm inside of us. Nearby Planet. Is that a unset card or is that a real card? Or a normal card? Yeah, what are the sphere payoffs? I don't think I've ever seen one. There's 9 spheres because it's Phyrexian. Phyrexians love spheres. I see you. That's Acorn, I see you. Thank you, Base. Yeah, the end of the Dark Souls stream was really, like, a very hopeful ending. Yesterday's ending, it felt very good to be like, this is for everybody that watched me die to Gwyn 35 times in a row, which is something that happened on stream. I got him on my first try, very confidently, just flawless. It was awesome. And like, most of the run is getting to be pretty consistent with the exception of 4 Kings and Ornstein and Smo. And honestly, like, even Dino and Hop have troubles with those bosses sometimes. They're really, really tough. So I'm starting to feel like we've made a lot of really meaningful progress over the last 2 weeks. Let me see if I can find a clip of that. While I said my opponent's disconnected, so I don't know if anybody clipped it. I guess it was just the end, so we can watch that. Yeah, my opponent's disconnected, so. Yeah, Sif is Nassif, mostly because of the arcade. PB!
Oh, fuck. No, spoiler.
If that makes... Okay, so usually we just run in. Save quitting in this manner not allowed on the real run, but usually it doesn't matter because you just run in, but I'm going to just make a save state. So we're going to reset. Alright, this one is for everybody that watched me die to Gwyn 35 times. It's a pretty fast fight. Hold on, I'll just watch it real quick. So that first parry is really, really consistent. The second part is harder. You have to do 3 rolls back, wait for the attack, then he's gonna jump at you. You have to walk
Yes!
forward into him and then parry at the same time. It's like it's much harder than it works, but I've been doing a lot of practice and it's been feeling good. Very exciting moment. I'm gonna mulligan this. I think you could possibly keep that one. Okay, on 6, I think we probably have to keep this. The draw. Alright, hopefully you get some help from Goblin Guide. Another Fury on top, huh? I think I'm going to... I could play a Harbinger here. I don't... No, we'll just wait a turn. Hope that they play a second creature and I can, like, Fury Ephemerate. Do you have a preferred list for blue-red base breach? So I have, like... as far as, like, breach goes, I think that if you're blue-red, being, like, a more fair, for maybe lack of a better word, version is the way to go. We trophied with a Iconoclast breach deck last week, and I am interested in interested in playing one of those again, or playing that list again today or tomorrow as a backup deck. No, I don't think so. I've seen Maze Crusher. Is that the sequel to the Maze Runner series? Die, Goblin Guy, die. So you'll see if they Rift Bolt the Fury. I think that would have to be okay. Teamer with Iconoclast looks good. Yeah, so like I think the teamer combo versions are also fine. I mean they're all good. It's Reach is so hard to figure out the best version. It is just like it is just like not a clear thing at all. Oh, my opponent held Goblin Guide last turn. That's frustrating. Because they missed their land drop. And so they drew the land this turn, but they just decided to spin Rift Bolt instead of casting Goblin Guide. But I think that, you know, it seems fine. Like, it's not like a bad play. I think that playing around Fury in this spot makes a lot of sense, but they kind of owned us. That being said, I'm going to get the Reef here. Elemental. Cast the Reef. Okay, Harbinger's actually pretty good for next turn. That's also interesting. Just go ahead and pass back. Alright, Maze Crusher. 3 mana 4/4. Legendary Phyrexian Beast. 5 oil counters on it. Remove an oil counter, gains Vigilance Menace. Remove 2 oil counters for 2 mana. +2/+2. Remove 3 oil counters. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. So this is the new Savage Knuckleblade. Are we getting land 3 1-mana burn spelled? That'd be gross. No, they have an Eidolon though. That's okay, because we can just get now we can just go upkeep. I guess we don't need to upkeep the Harbinger, but we want to if we want to take up the Vial to 2, which we do, I think. So let's go ahead and trigger it so that the Reef trigger resolves first, so we can get a little bit more info on the best way to, or the best card to search for here. I don't know if I want it to be Foundation Breaker or just Fury. I think Foundation Breaker is best, because I get to keep the Awakener in my hand that way. So they'll tick this up. They only have 1 card in their hand. Evoke here. Finding a Solitude is definitely nice. We need to find a white card soon. Oh, they revealed Fury with Goblin Guide. Right. Should have looked more into that. All for one, Quest for Perfume. Yeah, I saw Frank post that combo. I don't know if it's going to be worth a brew. It is a 2-card combo, both on permanents, which is kind of interesting. One of them is a 5-mana enchantment, and as far as modern combo goes, that's probably a bit too much, but I wouldn't. I'm also like just not completely dismissing it either. I think this is something we're just gonna have to think about a bit more. Hello, Andy. Hello, everybody. Just gonna leave this on 2 for right now. Maybe an Enchantress, maybe, or like maybe like a newer type of Enchantress shell. It's something to have on your radar. But I don't know that there's like a particularly good package of cards for it, if that makes sense. Yeah, and also like, one problem is it doesn't immediately win the game. Something has to deal damage, which is not that hard, but Adrian, 12 months, thank you. Okay, good draw. I guess I can just Kaheera if I want. Thank you, Emma. Yeah, I'm very happy to have a TCG player shirt with my name on it. I really feel cared for today. Feel very fancy, very important. Alright, so if they have 2 burn spells, Solitude is gonna let us survive at 1 life. Well, that's how she goes, huh? Good old Boros charm. Oh boy. Am I sponsored by them now? I mean, yeah. Like, it's, you know, I write for CFB Pro, which is owned by TCG Player, which is owned by eBay, which is owned by me. So in a way, I'm sponsoring myself. Wow, they have no burn spell. That's crazy. No castable burn spell. Again, the structure. CFB Pro, that's owned by TCG Player, which is owned by eBay, which is owned by me. Which is owned by Esther. So really, Esther is sitting at the top. I can keep this. Up against Murktide, which is, I think, is usually a pretty good matchup, although Cavern of Souls or Aether Vial would be pretty important for this, being on the draw here. I guess I can tutor up Voice of Resurgence? No, you just gotta get a freaking Risen Reef here, right? I spent 26 months, thank you. I knew you for more, it wasn't my real name. Yeah, it's all been a cover. I'm the son of the legendary John eBay. Lightning Bolt the Harbinger. Hard to feel too upset about that. Putting a Shredder in the yard, playing a Scalding Tarn. Alright, so the question is going to be, do I want to play my Harbinger here? I think no is the answer. I'd be kind of interested in drawing like a land for Skelemental. It's not, you know, Canopy obviously, or Cavern of Souls. Maybe pitching this to Fury. Well, against a Dash Dragavan, I kind of wish I had played out my Harbinger. It's okay though. Ephemerate in the revealed zone. Counterspell up. Right, some good top decks here. Alright, so let's get the Vial down. Get the Harbinger down to block Ragavan potentially. If they use a burn spell on it, it's okay. A lot of good options here. A lot of not so good options too. I think I'm getting Thunderkin Awakener. Deck tech for base, you post a link in chat, I'd be happy to take a look. Oh, the new Grand Arbiter. This card's really cool. I don't know that this is the kick in the pants that Blue Steel as an archetype needs, but I like the card. I like the card. Get a 1-drop. I mean, my only 1-drops are more Flamekin Harbingers. I think I'm just gonna like cast a 3-drop next turn, and then I can Vial on the Awakener, get back my Reef after they counter it probably. Update from last time you saw. Okay. Dwarf vehicles, very cool. Oh, I like the recommissions. Like that you're on these Heart of Kirans. Otawara bounce. Wow. That is so okay. What? How? When is it? Ragavan is not this good. I guess they get the Harbinger off the top of my library, but wow. I guess they're flooded, maybe. This looks pretty tight. I think I'm kind of interested in playing the 4th Voltaic Surge, maybe over like the 3rd Fable. I'm not really sure how good Fable is in this list. It's probably fine. But I'm a little bit unsure, I guess. Alright, it's not a bad pickup. Let's go ahead and pitch the Fulminator here. Trigger. So, okay, wow, just conceding. Okay, sick. I mean, our draw was even, like, kind of mediocre, to be honest. Alright, I'm going to cut the, you know, definitely not the matchups for, our matchup spread has not been good for these so far, but that's okay. Don't think our disenchants are particularly relevant post-board. I think I'm down to cut at least one Fury, and then Wisp is okay. I think it's probably just the cut since we're bringing in so many other 3s. Yeah, I might trim a Fable for the 4th Surge. Like, you have a lot of like 3 drops already. You have 5, 8, so going down to 7 seems kind of nice. You could also cut the Harvester. I just don't know like if like 8 vehicles is exactly right. I'm not sure if Harvester is even like good. Harvester might be just better as a sideboard card against the aggro decks, right? Like, is Harvester better than Rending Volley? Is Harvester better than Abrade? Is Harvester better than... You don't have too many aggro cards in general. Yeah, maybe sticking to Boros would be good too. Like, the Chariots are not... Chariots are like a really, really good card. I agree, but your mana probably gets much, much better if you cut it. You could play, like, 4th Heart of Kiran? Or you could play, like, 2 Bankbusters. You could play 2 Harvesters. I think that I like the idea of just being Boros. Good mana is so hard to come by these days. Did the 1-drop deck ever get fleshed out yesterday? Not on stream or off stream. I ended up working on like a 4-color Taking Turns deck. I'm not really sure how I feel about it either. Don't know if I'm going to stream with it. Omnath decks are kind of snore fest, but I could maybe learn to forgive. I could maybe learn to forgive Omnath for its crimes, since it is really much less egregious without Yorion. But I was messing around with just like the full 4 Time Warps in the 4-color shell, with then like being pretty in on the Ephemerate Witness Time Warp plan. I'm not sure. I've played 3 in this version in the past, and I just kind of want to just like have those combo finishes more often. Get more of the late game inevitability, which like is something that, you know, of course you always like to have access to in the older versions. Huh. I really want to play Vial on turn 1. And just take a hit from a Ragavan. Bring to light over some warps is fine. It's kind of an interesting thought. I'm not sure how easy it is to like bring to light for 5, because like we're mostly a 4-color deck with only 1 black source. If like you were a hard 5-color deck, or like more so of a 5-color deck, I would be certainly down. I think that they're pretty likely to play another creature this turn if they have one. Since like holding up Counterspell, I don't know how good holding up Counterspell is. Maybe it's okay because I can't violate anything. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna Solitude here. Yeah, the main phase considered kind of weird, huh? We'll see. If they do play a second creature, I'll feel the twinge of regret. But no second creature, I feel great. I wonder what the opposite of regret is. Pretty sure I play the Concealed Courtyard, so I could potentially hardcast Endurance next turn. This may be a take up Aether Vial to 5 kind of game. Jubilation, Schadenfreude, yeah, maybe. I'm kind of interested in the idea of Bring to Light, though. Probably have to get a Valky in there, and then the mana becomes like way harder. But I'm interested. All right, let's go ahead and put a Kaheera into our hand here. I play Wall Overruns over Expressive Iteration with Ephemerate. Well, right now we have enough Ephemerate targets. We have... Oh, we don't really have enough Ephemerate targets. I thought I had more. I don't really have anything. I thought I had more. I don't know. Just kind of messing around with it off stream last night. Yeah, you might be right. You might be right. Maybe I had Fury in the main in an earlier draft. Yeah, just play the Wall Tribal deck, of course, of course. Alright, pretty good draw. So we can go Vial and Risen Reef. Then cast Voice of Resurgence. Then Solitude the Murktide. Why does that stop being a thing? I mean, in general, 5 mana threats are kind of worse in the counterspell format. What's kind of nice about Time Walk is, and this is maybe like a little bit of copium, but what I like about Time Walk at least is that, or Time Warp, is that when it goes to the graveyard, you still like are setting up to combo off on a later turn at least. And then one also like really big issue with Valky is like with how efficient modern decks have gotten. Modern decks have become like very, very efficient lately. That it is hard to have like to draw a dead card in the game. Like I think it's harder now to like draw your Valky and you're in this like really gross 1-for-1 fight and your mana curve is higher than your Murktide opponent and their cards are just so efficient. I think that's an issue as well. But that being said, like there is the Bring to Light Scapeshift deck that I think is also like an underplayed strategy, underexplored strategy. There's a lot of players that really swear by it. Is that fine? I think it's probably fine. Okay, less fine now. I guess I have the Thunderkin Awakener actually. There's a lot of players that really swear by it, and there's that deck does still play Bring to Light Valky. Okay, so let's go Awakener, get back Reef, then we can Violent, Endurance, and be pretty ahead. Bring to Light Scapeshift just can't beat Murktide. I believe that. It is, this is maybe not something that easy 306 by the way. It's okay to have bad matchups. It's okay to have bad matchups. Just if we're just talking about, under respected decks, I think there's a lot like that at the moment. And Vampire Pox, of course, goes without saying. Well, hopefully it's not too slow, but I'm going to go ahead and tutor up Fulminator Mage, which with double Recommission, I think we've got a chance here. Yeah, I guess they could be Bring to Light. I'm not sure if they could be Bring to Light Scapeshift, Red Green Valakut, or just Titan. Alright, they're just Titan. With the mana to cast a Titan on turn 3, unfortunately. Definitely feels like a classic play draw situation. Yeah, Flickerwisp on bounce lane can be fine. Expedition map, huh? Notably, they don't have a forest in place, so they can't get Castle Garenbrig. No, I think you have to get Fulminator Mage here, especially with them not having an amulet. Don't think it really matters between these two, right? I guess white mana is harder for them to have access to because they have the Valakut. So next turn we can actually double Recommission too. Probably get a Saga here. Yeah, they get Saga, and then we can go Recommission, kill bounce land, Recommission, kill Saga. Pretty nice draw. Feels pretty good. Triple Stone Rain. If they have a bounce land, the Wisp will be nice. They don't have the bounce land, unfortunately. I can Wisp my Harbinger. Get a Reef. I can also get Thunderkin Awakener. Okay, so I can go this turn, Flickerwisp my Harbinger, tutor up Thunderkin Awakener. Next turn, cast Awakener, put Kaheera into my hand, and then I can set up for Kaheera plus Thunderkin Awakener. So that's... So I do that, I do cast Wisp this turn, they take up Saga to 2, I put those 2, then Saga takes to 3. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I should just get a Reef instead. Kaheera this turn. Yeah, okay, yeah, I guess that makes... Yeah, Kaheera this turn, I like it. I like it. So this way, we can... This gives us more information. If they play a bounce land, we can potentially just flicker the bounce land. Obviously, we're, like, losing some pressure, but I think that we don't... We're gonna win, like, more by controlling the game here. Keep mana up for Solitude. I mean, I literally can't this turn, and I also should not this turn. I don't need to be scared of Solitude this turn. But I played a tap land this turn. Is it worth to play a 3-drop just to control Urza Saga? You have to be, like, so much more specific. Like, I don't know what deck you're playing. I don't know what 3-drop you're playing. I don't know how weak you are to Urza Saga. It's just I can't answer the question with that information. Okay, another land. Aether Vial's nuts. I would never play this deck without Aether Vial. Okay, let's go ahead and sack the Canopy here. We got 5 mana anyways. So I can Flickerwisp their Urza Saga potentially to reset it. But I guess the best line is probably just Flamekin Harbinger for Thunderkin Awakener, and then I can Solitude a Titan if they have a Titan this turn. Although maybe the Thunderkin Awakener isn't correct, because they're going to have a Urza Saga token to block. Be a 3-3 against my 2-3. Awakener with Kaheera lets me recur Fulminator Mage. Well, I'm assuming that I'm pitching Solitude, Flickerwisp to Solitude. I'm still gonna get it, I think. I can also recur Solitude with the Thunderkin Awakener if I do need to just clear a blocker. I don't know if we should have Wisp Harbinger to hold Fury and pitch with Harbinger in hand. I don't know. I think it's better to like have the Solitude pitch up. I could be wrong. They also might not have a bounce land. They do have a bounce land. Is Hammer the best deck in Modern? I don't think Modern has a de facto best deck. I think that you could make... Oh, no. Dude, the Colossus always gets you in these kind of games. I think you could make a good argument for like 5 or 6 decks being the best deck in Modern. Dude, they get to Bog. We're dead. We're dead. Hammer is one of them, but like, here's kind of the thing about like boldly declaring that Hammer is the best deck in Modern. It's like I just don't understand. I don't know how anyone can be so confident as to like just boldly declare that, yep, Hammer is definitely the best deck in Modern. You know what I mean? Has a lot of weaknesses, has a huge target on its back, is just like... It's just not... I just don't think it's like very clear that there is a best deck. I think the only people who are like super confident that like about a best deck in Modern are like the Breach players. I think the Breach players like, yep, Breach is broken, but the issue with Breach 2 is there's like 9 different versions or something like that. Or like depending on what you count, because there's like There's Jeskai Breach, blue-red Fair Stuff Breach, Jeskai Fair Stuff Breach, Teamer Fair Stuff Breach, green-red Breach, Grinding Station, Spell-based, just Prowess. You know, it's just, there's a lot. We're bringing Wispmare for Urza Saga and Eidolon. Or not Eidolon, Dryad of the Elysian Groves. This hand's sick. Love it. Let's keep it. I might actually grab Foundation Breaker here. Oh, I just realized I can't. This Plains doesn't cast the Skelemental, though. Maybe I'm getting Risen Reef then. Do we lose after 5 Stone Rains? We lost after 3 Stone Rains. And, like, not putting meaningful pressure on my opponent after that. I think the issue means not one breach deck, but breach the card. I mean, I'm not trying to like start a ban conversation. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, breach is pretty busted. It is true. But I'm also not saying that breach is the best deck in the format. I also think that like modern players in general don't respect breach decks with their sideboard as much as they probably should. I also think that like most breach decks are like not favored against Murktide. I think like a good breach player can like beat them pretty consistently, but like then they'll face a good Murktide player. You know what I mean? It's always like that, right? Getting turn 2'd, that'd be pretty gross. When was the last time it was a clear best deck? It was much later than Hogak. So I've been wanting to do a YouTube video about the different eras of Modern for a long time now, really. They picked up their Saga, which is interesting. Yeah, Cascade Valky was maybe it, but you could also make... Oh, no. Oh, no. You could make a pretty good case for like Prowess or Heliod pre-Image2 being the clear best deck. For all the criticisms you can have of Modern Horizons 2, I think one really good point is like there really just has not been a clear de facto best deck in the format since MH2's been out. Okay, I'm gonna Skelemental them here. I get them down to 1 card in their hand, so their hand has to be Bounce Land plus Titan next turn. And then I get to like keep recurring the Skelemental with Awakener, and then I also get the Fulminator Mage next turn. Grixis Shadow before Lurrus was. I think it's honestly like wild to declare that Grixis Shadow was the best deck. No, I know there's no way. It was just not. It was just never clearly the best deck. There was an insane amount of nuance in that era. I would love some Esther, thank you. Like I think that you can argue that there were best decks, but I do not think since Image2 has been out that there has been a clear de facto best deck. And I even think that it's hard to argue otherwise. They drew a Bounce Land, so they had a Titan. We're pretty dead. 4-color Omnath after Lurrus was banned, but before Yorn was banned. Yeah, I think you can't. Again, I think you can argue that there was a best deck, but I don't think that you can. I don't think that you can just be super confident about it. Honestly, I really just don't think it's like very clear. But again, can kind of a pointless conversation to some extent. Okay, so assuming they're gonna double block my Skelemental and then keep a Bounce Land in their hand. I probably should Fulminator Mage the Saga this turn, right? I should probably Fulminator Mage Saga. I think that that trade, though, is okay for me, because it also means that if I draw a Recommission, I'm going to be able to Recommission my Awakener. Yeah, there is a card called Skelemental, sweetie. Kill both lands. So Thunderkin Awakener can't always recur Fulminator Mage. It only can recur Fulminator Mage when it has an extra point of power, toughness from either Recommission or Kaheera. If you type exclamation point deck, you can see the list. I guess one thing I could also do here is I could Fulminator Mage. I could just not sack Fulminator, which would let me kill their bounce land in response to the trigger, so they just can never Titan me here. The issue with that is they can like map for Bog, which would be fine. They can also map for Teleria West, which would be fine if they can't play their bounce land. Yeah, I think that that's probably the best line. Pada, 4 months, thank you. Love the Grease Fiend deck, plan to play again soon. We'll see. I don't usually plan streams more than like... Usually like what I... Like the most planning I do is like I'll have a deck ready for a day where I don't have something like really new and fresh. So like this is kind of like, you know, this week I didn't have something new and fresh today, so I've had this prepped for a while, ready to go. And so like I go into like every evening trying to find something big and new to play. Which of my recent brews, like Slime Storm and Recommission, did the best? Which was the most fun? Honestly, I've been fucking playing so much. I don't know. I've been trophying with a lot of stuff. I don't know. People ask me this kind of stuff a lot, but the answer is usually I'm not sure. Okay, Solitude's kind of nice here. I think I should get this reef down though first. Kind of getting beat down though. This saga, this next saga, I might just have to kill, but I might also be able to beat their beatdown plan. I'm not sure. So the problem with killing this, then they have 6 mana from the land drop plus map for Key West, but they don't have enough blue. I think I'm gonna believe in my Risen Reef to handle the tokens. Like, the Anviltron deck was a big, huge success. I've been really happy with hammering out, tuning the Prowess list. Although in this list, I want to go -1 Grape Shot, +1 Dragon. And then maybe play the 4th Mutagenic Growth, with being up to 3 dragons. I think this Recommission Elementals deck is really good, but it's also not that new. I liked my take on the Fair Breach archetype a lot. We trophied with that. There's just been a lot of success lately, to be honest. Didn't Red Green Steelseeker have like a 70? Yeah, Red Green Steelseeker was great. I just don't know that you can call it a recent brew. You know what I mean? Yeah, the deck has been performing really well, but it's just not that recent anymore. It's like you know, back right when Brothers War came out. Pretty great top deck. Oh no, that's so insane with the constructs. So killing this stops them from sacking the clue token.
I asked you if you wanted Mocha or normal, and you didn't answer, and I figured that
it's
given
fine.
the choice between Mocha and
given
normal,
the choice,
you would always choose Mocha. So.
Thank you, sweetie.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Heliod deck is also like great and underrated. We'll get better with the new Phyrexian card too. I need to not die here. That's going to be kind of important. I wish I could Flamekin Harbinger for a Recommission. Flamekin Harbinger is a good draw. I think I'm going to get Wispmare. Fury? I mean, Fury doesn't... I don't know why you would get Fury here, to be honest. Maybe Ingot Chewer, actually. Let's get Ingot Chewer. I know that their hand is just a Simic Growth Chamber, which gives them a lot of mana. 6 mana next turn, 7, but it's not enough to map. Let's get the Chewer. Let's get the board kind of clear. Second Solitude. I don't think it's supposed to be Second Solitude here. Foundation Breaker. I think Ingot Chewer or Wispmare make more sense because they're going to be 1 mana, and if I find an untapped land, I can hardcast Solitude also. Interesting pickup. So now I could Wispmare the Saga. I can also just get Fulminator Mage and be able to kill Bounce Land here. I think that actually is just going to be my decision. Having the extra blocker is really big here. Clyde with the 7 gifted subs. Why 7? Thank you so much, Clyde. Sorry I missed that. I can hear the sounds. Thank you so much, buddy. You're doing well. How to kill Tracker this turn? I think this line was fine. I'm actually kind of happy with it, but I don't hate your choice. Yeah, the new blue artifacts, you know, blue steel card. That card's awesome. Seven sub kind of day high. If you got a gifted sub from Clyde, make sure to thank longtime patron of the channel and just general good guy. Looks like handsome Shrek from Shrek 2 in person. Okay, so I'm definitely gonna Skelemental their hand away. Then probably just hardcast Solitude. Oh wow. I guess we're gonna Ephemerate Solitude, probably, but let's just go ahead and send in. Oh fuck, I missed lethal. Damn it. Sorry, I just forgot that you could attack at your opponents in this game. It's okay, this game's pretty over. As soon as I clicked away. I mean, again, this game's like very over, it's okay. Yeah, why no kill? I don't know, this happens a lot like when I'm playing control decks too. I'm just like so focused on controlling the game that like I'll miss this. I miss the sneaky lethals a lot. But with the Fulminator Mage to target bounce land, I don't really even know what my opponent can do here. They have no cards in their hand also. Like I just wasn't thinking about their life total at all. I don't know yet. Maybe sneaky is not exactly the best example. Not the best example. What a sneaky lethal looks like. I run the draw for game 3. Hopefully with a good hand. Oh, this hand's so close. Oh, this hand's so close. We have Solitude. We have double Solitude. We have Vial. We have Ingot Chewer. This hand is so close to mulligan. Hand's worse. Is Harbinger actually any good? I think so. I don't know. Yes, it's actually great. It's really good. It's better with Recommission. But it also just like buying back your Risen Reefs, I think, is even like by itself enough to play with it, and it gets back Flamekin Harbinger for tutors. It recurs Skelemental every single turn, so you can recurse Flickerwisp. I will say Flamekin Harbinger, good enough. Maybe not good. Good enough, though. Thank you, Frozen. Hope you're doing well today. Welcome back 22 months. 5-0 Dream alive and well. Alive for sure. We'll see how well it is. We're up against, you know, scary Amulet Titan. Modern would be so different if Amulet Titan players just had any degree of confidence in their strategy of choice. If someone could just give the Amulet Titan players a pat on the back and say, hey, your deck's really good. Or maybe it's all for the best that we don't do that. No land to play, huh? Do we out Omnath on top here? No, so dude, Solitude. I'm not playing Omnath. Omnath is so bad. Omnath is so bad in this deck. I feel like this deck is really good. Or this version of this deck, I'm like really happy with it. And like it's just so, it seems to be so many players' instincts to just like ruin the mana base and add Omnath. Let's actually play that for turn. Which I take personally, you know. Alright, I could get Foundation Breaker instead of Ingot Chewer. I guess that's better. I'm gonna go Foundation Breaker, Ephemerate here, and then I'm gonna take this one up to 2. Oh, now I can't play my 3rd vial. Yeah, what I like about Foundation Breaker is that this can kill a Dryad or a Urza Saga next turn, and I didn't at the time really have much I was doing with that other mana. It's also, in theory, I can Kaheera. Like, I can actually Kaheera Foundation Breaker, potentially. Wow, they have Dismember. Okay, well, they shouldn't be able to Titan me next turn without, like, a... Like, they have to have a bounce which they have in hand. They have to have also, like, Grazer or something, which they could have. But next turn I can go Kaheera into the hand, Violent Kaheera, Violent Awakener, Recur Foundation Breaker. What card will Phyrexia for try and Helia decks? I think that the did my plan just change? Okay, let me just Violent Thunderkin Awakener and then see if I draw like a white card. No, I want to be able to play that though. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm just gonna evoke. I think like another Dismember killing my Awakener could be potentially pretty dangerous. Yeah, I want to try the new Phyrexian card. I think that card's good. I'm not sure exactly how it fits or anything, but I think it's good. And I think like it's good. So like one problem I have with it, I guess, is that the Phyrexian, the white obliterator is like Heliod is a deck that plays all white sources, so that's nice. It's like potentially powerful, but it's mostly just going to be good against Hammer Time and Murktide, and it's maybe even not that good against Hammer Time. And those are two matchups that I already feel like relatively comfortable in. Those aren't like really spots I feel like need a lot of compensation, I guess. And the numbers are kind of weird, but we'll mess around with it. I think I'm just going to leave 1 and 2, 1 and 3. Could be better too. I don't have that many 2s in the deck left, so it could be better to just take both of them up to 3 here. Alright, so let me do this. Is this a May ability? Yes, this is a May. So I'm going to do this so I can hit for like 1,000,000 more damage. This is actually probably just lethal, huh? Well, not quite. Lethal next turn, I guess. Play a set of Aether Vials in play. I think the 3-ish non-white sources in blue-white disqualify it from sideboard action against Merc. If you mean the basic islands, which sounds like that's what you mean, like those are really important. Like you in blue-white control, like you either have to like fetch. You play more than that, right? No, you play because you play off-color Triome, like 3 or 4 islands. It's also like you're a Supreme Verdict deck. Don't play an Obliterator in your Supreme Verdict deck. Just play a Supreme Verdict is really good against Murktide too. So grabbing a Dryad here. Why would they play their land first? They just missed a bolt there. Also, how do they have 2 lands in their hand when they've been missing so many land drops? I don't know. But I'm going to keep my Reef alive. And what's good is I can't even draw any Aether Vials in this spot. Huh. Alright, I'm going to put some triggers on the stack opponent. This one goes up. I think I'm going to say yes to the 1 on 2 as well, and then keep the 1 on 3 on 3. Don't think there's any way for me to get lethal here, so let's just attack, put them to 2. Because wisp. I guess I could have wisped and like seen what I draw, because I could have maybe found a Skelemental off the first reef draw. Was not going to though. But now I can get a Fulminator Mage or another 3. I can also just go get more 1-drops first. Miss Lethal. Was Wisp hard to refine Skelemental? This returns end of turn. Does not return immediately. Although it's so common for people to think that Wisp returns immediately. Yeah, Solitude is maybe just the best case. Oh, they have to pay for Summoner's Pact, actually. Yeah, they have to pay for Pact, so... I think I'm just gonna Solitude or Fulminator Mage there beside you and win. Can't kill Forest because it's a basic. Yeah, sneaky lethal. Okay, we're 4-0. 4-0. Deck is nuts. Really liking this version. Playing very well. But beyond those 2 sections, we did have a couple of hits, but they were hits that like I'm feeling pretty good about. It was like yesterday was a really big step in the right direction. It feels like we're making this week. I feel like I've been making big progress on the run, especially compared to last week, which I just didn't feel like I was making as much progress as I wanted to. Okay, so we're up against creativity. I could Vial in the Harbinger and get a Voice of Resurgence into play here. I don't think I want to do that though. I think I'm just gonna like cast Reef next turn and then have the ability to Vial in the Harbinger, so keep this on 1. Yeah, people are really liking the Dark Souls stream. It's obviously not for everybody, but the people that are into it are really liking it, and that is a success in my mind. Is the Charging Knight and the big guy with the hammer? Yeah, that's Ornstein and Smo. Oh, we have the Orvars in the sideboard too. Yeah, the ending was very exciting. It ended on a very good, hopeful note. I really want to be able to find a Solitude off the Harbinger at instant speed here, but I may have to like just get a red card. But we'll see, Green. Like, best case scenario, I draw a red card here. No, but Recommission's not too bad, honestly. Alright, so we'll go Violent Harbinger, and I think I'm gonna pitch Fury to Fury here. Skelemental, Fulminator. I guess Fulminator, actually. We'd always draw Solitude off of this trigger, I guess. We're actually not very doing bad at all if they creativity into Archon next turn, because we get to just sack the Harbinger, recommission Harbinger, get Solitude, pitch Solitude, even like have Ephemerate up too. I use an Xbox One controller for the runs right now. I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, one snake. Yeah, and so the snake hit was really on the moss guys, which I think I can just keep my red tier stone ring state from gargoyles to fight them, and into. There was a hollow that was acting weird on. Oh, dude, Prismari command, gross. There was a hollow that was acting weird on the Seath fights. I took a wrong route on Nito, and then I got greedy on Sif. But just like all of those felt avoidable. All of those felt like they were more mental hits than skill hits, and yeah, we're making progress. It's going to take some time, and time is all it's going to take. Oh, fuck! Why? No! No, I targeted the wrong thing! Maybe it's fine. Ah, damn it. No, it's not fine. I meant to get, target the Risen Reef, but now I'm just gonna grab a Solitude, I guess. Just totally missed. Yeah, we finished the, oh, I didn't cast, sorry, I didn't realize I had another trigger on this deck either. This is so bad. Could've, sorry. Kind of classic cascading mistakes. We did go live later and finish the run on stream. Okay, I'm going to focus for one. I'm going to get a Flamekin Harbinger. I could just get another Reef. Another Reef is better against another Bolt. Yeah, I guess so. Sorry, chat. If we put that turn was abysmal. So is it better for me to Ephemerate the Reef or Solitude Ephemerate both of these? I think it's better to Solitude Ephemerate. Where I get to clearing both of these is important, and then I have the Solitude still in play, and I have the Ephemerates rebounding too. Okay, so put that in my hand so I can cast the Vial. Ephemerate Harbinger again. I'm sorry. I was just talking about Dark Souls. I'm sorry. The big difference is if I find a red card, I can Fury both of those there, but I think this is just kind of fine. Like, even if my opponent has creativity, there's like no chance that they ever creativity here, right? Because I just have the rebound coming down. Surprised I didn't ping the Harbinger with the rebound on the stack. Could Reflecting full tap for Collis? I think we've talked about this before. I think the ability of Reflecting Pool to tap for Collis is a bug. Not a bug that matters very much. How does creativity match up against Burn? I think it's usually not great against Burn, but Archon of Cruelty is good against Burn. Not a bug? Okay. I know we've had this conversation before. It really doesn't matter, so I guess I didn't pay that much attention. Yeah, Explorer's kind of old tech. I mean, there's like a lot of different versions. You know, this is something I don't talk about enough, but like my favorite... They have a second Prismari command here? Wow. I don't talk about this enough, but like my favorite part about Modern is like there's just not like... There's not any deck in the format that... Or, okay, there's a couple, but... For almost every single deck in the format, there's not a consensus on the best way to build it. There's like basically always different camps of players who think that like the deck is built in different ways, and that's true for most of the archetypes with a few exceptions. Yeah, there's no super stock list for anything. There's like some like moderately stock lists though. Okay, so let's go. Cast Awakener. I'm gonna Fury pre-combat, I think. Let's go. Okay, they're just conceding. Alright, so winning game one is pretty big, because things only get better with all these Orvars. Yeah, I think this deck is a great example too. I think that this is the best version of the Elementals deck. I don't think I've done a great job articulating why this mana base and Recommission just like work so well and like how mid Omnath is, but I'm a big believer in this version. I'd say go down to like one Fury. I don't like Fulminator too much against the Rens. Skelly's okay. Wisp is not great. I don't think they're not super likely to be running persists, but I think we can play a couple of endurances just in case without much changes. So yeah, the changes were to the mana base, and then we're up to the full 4 Fury in the main deck with like we had the full 4 Fulminators in the main at first, like trying to be more in on the Recommission plan, but like I kind of slowly just realized that the Recommission is just really good, mostly just to recur Reef. That's the main plan. And it's also good with Thunderkin Awakener without all the Fulminators, so that was a pretty big level up, realizing Recommission is good without the Fulminators in the main. Ash, 16 months. Modern's best bet ever been. I agree. I think it's like, even it feels like it's like been getting better over time. Like, you know, with the Luris ban, Yorion ban, just, you know, small changes over time. Been liking it a lot. Maybe I'm not supposed to keep a hand like this. I think it's okay. Seems fine. Yeah, I've been actually liking Voice a lot. Yeah, I like that you can tutor Orvar, but you know, you can only put it in your hand at instant speed if you have Reef plus like Vial for Awakener at instant speed. Turn to Explore. Okay. We have Solitude up for creativity right now, so we shouldn't be too scared. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm supposed to play the Vial here. I probably should have played Unclaimed Territory on Elemental, though, so that I could have the Vantage up for the Ephemerate, but I'll just keep the Rebound up. So out of the 14 months, thank you. What's the deck's plan against Blood Moon, especially since you can't fetch your planes? You have a lot of red cards, and you also have Aether Vial. It's mostly it. Red cards and Aether Vial. I don't think I'm going to Ephemerate right now. Could do it on my turn with the... like, cast Voice, then Solitude Ephemerate. I don't love it. I think it's fine. I think, you know... This means my opponent can't creativity into Archon here. Since if they do, I sack the Voice and Rebound Ephemerate on the Solitude. And if they Spell Pierce this or something, or Lightning Bolt, it's also fine because I get the Voice token. And I can theoretically Kaheera plus Thunderkin, recur Solitude at some point. They snapped off that Spell Pierce, though. So yeah, if they creativity X equals 2, we probably just have to go to game 3. Okay. Could have discarded this to try to draw Recommission. I think that's probably not correct. So I think what I'll do is just Kaheera in the hand, discard Reflecting Pool to Archon, then Violin Awakener, Violin Kaheera next turn with the ability to recur the Solitude, and hope that's good enough. Yeah, if only you could freaking cast this from the command zone, huh? What payouts do you think I'll play the new dragon? Dude, I'm gonna be writing an article like this Sunday about it, I think, but I think that there's gonna be like 2 main ways you play the new dragon. I think you'll either be a combo deck that is trying to just cast a really high CMC spell with it. I think that those versions will be not optimal, since it's going to be hard to like consistently get something big because it is random. But I think you're mostly going to play the card like a Bloodbraid Elf, where like you play it for 3 mana, it cascades into effectively a random permanent, is how I'm thinking about it. Good pitch here. I think we're much more likely to win if we go for the Kaheera line here. I hope the Bloodbraid Elf analogy makes sense, because it makes sense in my head. Alright, Ephemerate. No, Ephemerate. But yes to Solitude. Does the dragon have a chance to whiff? Yeah, but it's like really unlikely. You can hit 3 lands, and then oh no, you spent 3 mana on a 4/4 flyer. But it should be pretty unlikely. Yeah, so the name is Capricious Hellraiser is the card. It's a 6 mana 4/4. It costs 3 less if you have 9 or more cards in your graveyard. So that's usually going to be when you cast it. That's going to be how many. Although you can also like persist it potentially without caring about this very much. Yeah, so like I think that if you're going to be more combo-y, it's going to be with persist because it's not a cast trigger; it's a ETB trigger, which is really big. But enters the battlefield, exile 3 cards at random from your yard, choose a non-creature, non-land card from among them, and copy it, cast it without paying the mana cost. So I'm thinking of this as like a 3 mana 4/4 flying Bloodbraid Elf. It cascades. You're almost always get a spell, not actually always get a spell. Jaya, what the heck? Oh, sorry. I guess I could have blocked here. I don't even know if we have any out. No, if I draw Recommission or like Risen Reef into Recommission, we could win. Okay, game 3. But like again, so like it's 3 mana 4/4 with some setup, but like you're just gonna play a 3 mana 4/4 flyer that's gonna cast a spell for you when you play it, which is nuts. Like that by itself is crazy. The setup for it is way harder. 9 cards is a lot. 9 cards is a lot, but I don't know if y'all remember Treasure Cruise. Treasure Cruise was not very hard to set up. Not very hard to set up, and it is 2 more cards. 2 more cards, but I think that the payoff will be worth it. Playable in Rhinos as a one of. I think you're probably in Rhinos specifically. I don't know if you're going to be a great job of getting 9 cards in your yard, but. I don't hate this hand. We can Harbinger for Orvar, but then we're not doing anything. I think the average 6 is maybe better than this. I also don't like showing them the Orvar. Like, yeah, like if we could just like naturally draw it, it usually is a bit better. Okay, so let's put back the Ephemerate, I think. If you cheat it with only 3 cards, you get yeah. If you cheat it into play, you can like the effect is more powerful. Better or worse than Murktide and Blue Red? I think that any Blue Red build with this card would be somewhat different than Murktide. You can't play as many counterspells. Like you probably can't play counterspell and spell pierce. You can probably still play counterspell. And I mean, the 2 cards do different things, but it's interesting. Why Fury instead of Flickerwisp Fulminator to kill red? I mean, Fury is mostly because it's just busted and lowers your curve, kind of. We're playing 1 Flickerwisp, we're playing 1 Fulminator Mage, still has tutor targets. It was also like it's awkward to draw either of those cards in multiples too. Better or worse than Giganta in prowess? It's not a question of than Giganta, it's a question of over Breach. And I think that it is probably worse than Breach, but being worse than Breach in that shell is not really that much of a criticism, to be honest. Yeah, we saw Soulless Jailer, 2 mana, 0/4, permanents in graveyards, can't enter the battlefield, players can't cast non-creature spells from exile. You know, giving you know any deck access to like a Drannith Magistrate effect is pretty cool. That's kind of it, I guess. All right. Hopefully they just creativity. I get to Orvar them. Oh, I don't have a blue source. Fuck. Well, there's my blue source. Not sure if I'm supposed to let go of the Harbinger, but I think it's fine. think it's fine. They might just take it all. They might not want to lose their token. They might want a creativity X equals 2 here, which would obviously be okay with me. So Ephemerate the Harbinger to save both. Seems okay. So I can just get another Reef, right? Sure. Not really that big a deal. Alright, not a great pickup. We still have the Orvar for a lot of protection, and we have Recommission to get back the Reef if it dies, so it's hard to be feeling too bad about our position. If they creativity X equals 3, it's beatable. So I'll make sure to discard Orvar to the last trigger. So we'll go sack, discard, 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 copy. Yeah, it is beatable. It's actually pretty beatable. We're not 100% to beat it, of course, but we just need to find a Solitude. And even if we don't, we are able to theoretically tank a hit here. So I'm okay trading here. I can also just find another could find another Orvar. So I can't tap the Reef, or sorry, tap the Horizon Canopy. I'll die to the Archon. I don't like doing this, but I think the safest line is probably just Recommission Harbinger. Recommission Harbinger before attack seem good. Well, I think I still have the option to just sack the Canopy, right? I also don't know, do I get Solitude or do I get Orvar? I just get Orvar, right? Yeah, Orvar seems better. When I recommission before attacks, what do you want me to recommission before attacks? I'm okay trading here. I'm okay if they block. I'm like pretty happy if they block. Then I just get back Reef. Can they resist the allure of attacking with Archon? Maybe they have Veil of Summer. How many times will Archon of Cruelty trigger this game? So they're gonna have 3 cards in their hand. I'm going up to 10. I'm not dead to a bolt. They have to have 2 burn spells, so pretty sure I just take the hit. No, taking the hit's kind of bad against another creativity though. Well, they have a Veil plus board for Orvar, is why. They bolt the Harbingers, so I wouldn't. I'd have to sacrifice my Archon, obviously, right? No, that's only 3 Archons, isn't it? And if I didn't block there, if I didn't, I think that, you know, I'm trying to think. It's been a tough game. Hopefully they just can't, you know, creativity here. Looks like they can. Jaya. Why is this in their deck? No! Okay, also, why did they cast Jaya before Persist? Like, why? Why are you just toying with me? Fuck. Need to draw like Harbinger for another Orvar or something. Last card, Bolt. Gross. Right. Good game, good game. Well, the game I played horribly, I won at least. Fuck. I don't think I've ever lost when I have Orvar 2 Archons, but then I mean, then creativity X equals 3. It's pretty good. Not a bad first league of the day. So like I think the big thing we could have done differently.